Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Educational AD Podcast. We're going to be right back with today's guest, but as always, we're going to give a shout out to our sponsors. Now, you've heard me say many times, these are all great companies. I used them. You should be using them. Have them on your team. So take 3 minutes, listen to our sponsor shout outs, then listen to our guest, and then go and visit these sponsors. I'm telling you, you're going to be glad you did. Here we go. We want to say thanks to our good friends at Huddle. You know, I used Huddle as a football coach for years, but when I became an athletic director, I made sure that our school was a Huddle school. And our coaches, our student athletes, even our parents just loved the tools that Huddle provided. Go to huddle.com. Find out all the ways that they can help turn your school into a Huddle school. That's huddle.com. We also want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com. You can schedule a live web demo to see their products in action. I've said many times, probably one of the best purchases I ever made was our Sideline Interactive indoor score table. Go to sidelineinteractive.com and schedule that live web demo today. Home Campus is another great product. It's a platform you're going to use every day for things like scheduling, rosters, results, facility management. It does all of these things and more. Does it better, does it faster than the other platforms. Did I mention athletic eligibility and clearance? That one alone is a game changer. Go to homecampus.com. Don't forget to mention you heard about it on the Educational AD Podcast. We also want to say thanks to Beacon Creative and Vital Signs Wall of Fame. Now, Wall of Fame has been helping schools bring their legacy to life for over a decade, but Beacon Creative takes it to a whole new level. Beacon is a content creation service, and they're going to take your stories about your kids, your coaches, your history, and turn them into compelling narratives that you can then post on social media. It's really unbelievable. I want you to email John Townsend, and you can do that by going to John, John, at beaconwalloffame.com. Beacon Creative and Vital Signs Wall of Fame. It's a winning team that you should be working with. We also want to say thanks to Gipper. Gipper's the modern marketing platform that takes your athletic website to the next level. Look Division I, look professional. Gipper's used and trusted by over 20,000 high schools and colleges. It's professional graphic design made easy, and it's easy because of the thousands of professionally designed templates that you can customize with your colors, your brands, your logos. Create, share, and schedule all of your social media on one platform, and that platform is Gipper. Go to gipper.com for more info, and don't forget to mention the podcast. We want to say thanks to Booster Hub, the #1 booster club software program. Concession sales, sponsorship payments, you name it. Everything flows through their secure system. Volunteer signups, volunteer changes. You know what's going to happen. Nothing falls through the cracks. Everybody stays connected. Give your boosters the platform they need. Give them the platform they deserve. And that platform is Booster Hub. We also want to say thanks to Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. Now, I didn't get my master's through the Ohio program, but my assistant AD did, along with thousands of others. And while they were earning their degree, they also completed 11 NIAAA leadership training courses at no extra charge. Check out Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. We want to say thanks to Hometown. Hometown continues to be a leader in education-based athletics with their suite of solutions that include things like, well, digital ticketing, of course, but how about athletic website construction, fee-free fundraising? The list just goes on and on. Whether you're a principal, an athletic director, even a head coach, Hometown's going to show you how to save time, how to raise more money, and how to bring your community together. You'll find it all at hometown.com. And we want to thank Athletic Surveys. If you're not using a survey to take the pulse of your student athletes, your coaches, and your parents, you're really missing out. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to create a custom survey that really connects you to everybody in your program. athleticsurveys.com. And as always, don't forget to mention you heard about it on the Educational AD Podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Educational AD Podcast. We're going up to Georgia, and I think it's safe to say we're speaking with one of our favorite guests. She's been on the podcast a number of times. If you've missed those episodes, go back to our Spotify archives and look up the name Tiffiny Pippins. Has some great segments, including her original interview that's part of our Small School Athletic Director book on Amazon. Tiffiny is the Director of Athletics at the Elite Scholars Academy, and again, that's in the Atlanta area, does a tremendous job with their student athletes. Did I mention she's a certified master athletic administrator, and she's also a finalist for Athletic Director of the Year in her area, and a long list of accolades. Tiffiny Pippins, welcome back to the Educational AD Podcast.
Well, hello, and thank you for having me back. It is great to be here with you on this great day in Georgia. We actually have some sun today after we had a little rain earlier, but it's phenomenal here. Great to be in Georgia, Georgia Peach today.
There you go. For our listeners, we're recording this episode on April 29th, so it's going to be very timely as you listen to it. As I mentioned, Tiffany's been on a number of times, always does a great job. Tiffiny Pippins, what do you got for our listeners this time on the Educational AD Podcast?
Well, I wanted to talk today about beyond the whistle. And beyond the whistle to me means balancing your leadership skills, life, and the legacy of your program. See, as ADs and coaches, we often experience times where we don't have time for ourselves. So we must find balance, and we're always struggling to find balance. So I just wanted to talk today about the importance of finding balance as an AD, because that will make you more successful as an AD or coach in your program, and the importance, because sometimes we get down in ourselves and we're upset with ourselves because we feel like we could have done more, but we can't do more if we don't do more for ourselves. Mental wellness and self-health is the way to go. And in order for us to pour into our programs, we got to pour into ourselves as well.
And it's such a great topic, and I just had a guest on recently, and I'm talking in a similar vein, and the term work-life balance, it's never a balance, because if it is a balance, you don't have a job, because you have to do the job, but you also have to find a way to take time for yourself, your family, and others. How do you do it?
Well, being an AD is not a 9-to-5 job. It's an all the time job. And in order to find a work-life balance, I have found that I have to schedule myself. Just as I'm sitting here looking at my desk calendar on my desk, and you write down the different things that you have to do with regards to your sporting events, anything outside of the athletic realm that you have to do that as it pertains to your job, it's important when you penciling those things in, you got to remember to pencil yourself in. Because if you don't pencil yourself in, you won't make time for yourself. And in doing so, you have to create boundaries. There have to be these hard stop times. And it's funny because I have friends and they laugh, and my phone will go, and they was like, does that mean it's time to go to bed? Oh, yes. That means it's time for me to start winding down, because I have to make that time for myself to shut off from everything. Because if my cup is empty, I don't have anything to pour in the cup of my coaches and my athletic program and athletes. And also, you want to have a great family life, right? So those are your family is your biggest supporters. So if you're not giving of yourself to them, then that's going to make it hard for you, because you're having a hard time at home. And when you have to come to work, you're going to be grumpy old AD. So we have to learn to set boundaries in our schedule. And part of that is doing so, as I said, is penciling time in for you.
Now, as you're putting together your schedule, let's turn that a microscope around on yourself. Is it just generic time that you schedule, time for Tiffiny, or is it specific things such as, workout, read, what are some things that end up in your schedule?
So I've learned and I've grown fond of massages. So I make it my to do. I'm going to do at least one massage a month. So that's monthly. And then on a weekly basis, I try to pull time that I'm taking away. I'm a movie person. I have the AMC movie pass. I will go sit in a movie by myself. I don't care who goes with me. But those are just time to wind down, to shut off from athletics and from everything. And so that you can rebuild, replenish, re-energize, so that you are being the best self that you can be as it comes to your athletic program. And a lot of people say, well, I don't know. That's hard to do. So one thing, I was doing this for with another group or with some friends. And we said, like, each week we were going to put down one good thing that we did that was accomplished in a jar. And then at the end of the year, we will pull them out to see what accomplishments or things that we felt like was successful. So what I found in doing is sometimes you got to start little. So maybe make a jar and write down some things. Massage. Just read a book. Listen to a podcast. Just sometime that you need plant in a garden. What are things that you like to do? Work out. And it's crazy because I'll find myself, I'm like, I got to make time to work out for myself, to keep myself. So each week you can pull one of those things out the jar, and that is what you got to hold firm to it and do it. And don't let people tear you away from doing whatever it is, because you're going to need that time to keep yourself balanced and well and in good health, so that you can be, as I always say, the best that you can be for what you have to do. But it's very important. Are you going to have AD burnout? Just like teacher burnout, you have AD burnout, because our clock does not turn off. Even though I said I set the timers for myself to wind down, I know if I'm not at the game, but I got a team that's out, I'm waiting on them to tell me, oh, we made it back to the school. It's 11 p.m. We just made it back. But I'm still on the clock until they get back and all of the kids are off to their parents. So we have to make time. And it's not just that time you get those couple of hours of sleep. You have to make time for yourself.
Again, it's just so important. Now you're at a small school, and like most ADs, you wear probably more hats than normal. What are some things that you've done with your coaching staff that kind of allow you to have some extra time, so you don't have to? I'm searching for a word here. I know you don't. So you're not micromanaging, but you're not worried about micromanaging because you've empowered your coaches. What are some things that you've done to allow them to maybe take things off of your plate?
Well, the biggest thing you got to do is not feel guilty, and not feel guilty about delegating. Give somebody else the opportunity. You delegate. You don't have to be that superhero. So get over that superhero syndrome. You can let others help you. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I'm pretty sure a lot of programs have other coaches that aspire to become ADs. So this is their time to get that real life experience. So you delegate and don't feel guilty about doing it. So you won't end up micromanaging and going back, okay, did you do it? After I've known that I've poured so much in your cup and I know you're ready. And it's just like I coach my coaches. Oh, you got this. Make the decision, stand on what you said, and focus on it. So delegation has been the biggest part of me to help take some of the load off of my plate, because realizing that I don't have to be everybody's superhero. We can be the Avengers, and we can have a group of superheroes, and then we can be more successful together.
I love that terminology. You don't, as an AD, you do not have to be everybody's superhero, because I think a lot of times we feel that way. We're wired. Our DNA is just wired to, fix things, to, be there, to have oversight, and empowering, your coaches to, do some of those things. Such a great idea. Can you give our listeners an example of a time where one of your coaches was able to I don't want to say take over, but do the task that you might have done in the past until you had empowered them?
Well, one of the biggest things when I go away from conferences, because the seasons keep going. So what I found is I have a great volleyball coach. So she typically helps me when it comes to basketball season because her season is over. So when I have to step away, she knows the things that I need for her to do. She makes sure that all of the personnel is in order. She has kind of like a little checklist because I have for them to check off. So she does that. She makes sure the officials are set. She'll call and say, Coach, how many of the if we're doing any type of special nights, how many seniors do they have? No worries. I'm gonna look it up on Max Prep. So she'll go find it herself. And because she knows these are things I do. Oh, I got all the snacks together for the officials. So she'll take that over and I won't have to worry about that or micromanage in that area or be that superhero. Because as I said, we the Avengers, so we all got some form of superpower. So we can help each other. And that helps. And even like with life, like you and I always talk, I always say life be lifing. But in the midst of everything that I'm going through, I get text messages after text messages because my coach is like, Coach, what do you need us to do? How do we need to step up? We know you got this going on. We can do this or we can do that. Like today, I walked in because I went in work today. Your lunch is already here. So they supplied the lunch. Coach, I put the uniforms here for you to log in the inventory. Like, so they've already done it. So I'm like, okay. I guess I just got to go, So once you instill that in them and they know what you expect and what you like in the program, they take ownership of it and they make sure that they get the job done because they've been in it field because I've delegated and I've trained and I've taught. So I got to be able to say, I can breathe because you don't have to do everything.
Again, it's obvious that you've established that culture with your coaches where, they're comfortable, you're comfortable, and, that's how you got a great program. You've got that legacy stuff taken care of. I don't want to turn this into a full hour for you because I know you're very busy. What else do you have for listeners on this segment that you can share today?
I just want to leave everyone with these tidbits to remember to make sure that you are making that work balance for yourself. You need to remember to set some non-negotiables. This is it, and draw the line at that. No means no, whatever that non-negotiable might be. Create boundaries, and don't go beyond them. It's okay to delegate. You trained them, they know, so delegate. Schedule your personal time. As you schedule games, schedule yourself, schedule your family, schedule your friends, things outside of work. And lastly, be present where your feet are. You can't be all things at all times. It's okay to be a member of that superhero team, the Avengers, instead of being that lone superhero.
I love be where your feet should be. Everything, boy. I'm writing all this stuff down. Tiffiny, like I've mentioned to our guests, you've been on the podcast a number of times. Listeners, go back and listen to her episodes in our Spotify archives. But if one of our listeners did want to reach out and pick your brain a little bit more about how you do things at Elite Scholars, or just add you to their network, what's the best way that our listeners can connect with Tiffiny Pippins?
You can always email me. You can email me at Tiffiny, that's TIFFINY, .Pippins, PIPPINS, at clayton.k12.ga.us. If you can't remember that, just go to Elite Scholars Academy in Georgia, and you can find me on the athletics on the website.
You can also find Tiffiny for our NIAAA members. Her information's on the NIAAA membership portal, and she's fairly active on social media. Look for Tiffiny Pippins. Tiffiny, thanks again for sharing. All the best as you continue with your very successful program in the Georgia playoffs for spring sports. And of course, we're going to bring you back on the podcast.
And thank you for having me. It's always a great experience.
Okay. For our listeners, we hope you have a great experience too. And just a reminder, we upload the Zoom recordings of every interview to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. We do this just about every day. We try to share stories and best practices from the world of athletics. So please come back and join us again on the next episode of the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next time. Always a great time with Tiffiny Pippins. Make sure you reach out and add her to your network. Also, make sure you reach out and connect with these sponsors. These are all great companies. They're time savers for you. Many of them are money makers, and you should have them as part of your team. Let's say thank you to Sideline Interactive Indoor Score Tables and Video Boards. We want to thank Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. Find them at athleticsurveys.com. Booster Hub is the #1 booster club software package. Go to boosterhub.com. Home Campus for scheduling, rosters, results, facilities, eligibility, and more. They do it better and faster than the other platforms. That's homecampus.com. We want to say thanks for Gipper. Create and schedule your social media all on one platform, and that platform is Gipper. Go to gipper.com. Hometown for fundraising, for digital ticketing, and a lot more. Go to hometown.com. Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. Check them out. Huddle. I used it as a football coach. As an AD, we were a Huddle school. Go to huddle.com. And Beacon Creative and Vital Signs Wall of Fame. Make sure you reach out. Vital Signs Wall of Fame and Beacon Creative. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time on the Educational AD Podcast.